Good morning, children. Saira. Welcome to part 4 of Geography, Chapter 5, that is Water. Children, in the last session, we discussed about waves. We understood how waves are formed and why waves are formed, isn't it? We also learned about tsunami, the destruction caused by it. We saw how it impacted the life of the people, isn't it, children? Now, in this session, we are going to start with tides. So, children, I'm sure you all must be wondering what are tides, right? Children, the rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day is called tide. So, what is tide? Tide is nothing but the rhythmic rise and fall of the ocean water. And how does it happen? How many times in a day does it occur? It occurs 2 times in a day. Okay. So, the rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day is called tide. So, children, the reason behind tide is due to the attraction of the sun and the moon. So, children, there are many factors involved in creating a tide. 3 main factors are sun, moon and earth. All these 3 huge bodies have different gravitational pull, right? Now, this gravitational pull creates a tide in the ocean. But in general, children, study of tides is a complex subject. It is a little difficult subject. Now, we all know that earth is quite larger than the moon, isn't it? And that is why the moon, it orbits around the earth. But then, if you see, earth is smaller than the sun. That also we have learned, and that also you all know, right, children? Sun is what? Sun is enormous. It is huge. And that is why the entire solar system revolves around the sun. This also we have learned already last year, right? We all know that the entire solar system revolves around the sun. So, what does it mean? It means that the smaller bodies is the planets or the satellites which are smaller, okay, they orbit around the large ones. So, if you look in this picture, you will understand that all the planets are orbiting around the sun, and at the same time their satellites orbit around the planets, right? Like in case of earth, moon orbits around the earth. So, as I said, the smaller bodies orbit around the large ones. But why is that so? Have you ever thought about it? It is because the larger bodies, they exert a gravitational pull on the smaller ones. They exert a gravitational pull on the smaller ones, like the satellites or the comparatively small, for example, small bodies. For example, the sun, it exerts gravitational pull on the planets. Similarly, planets exert gravitational pull on the satellites, Okay. So children, now imagine that the earth and the moon, okay, are in a straight line. That is, the moon is just above the earth. Now both earth and moon will exert some kind of gravitational pull. So we all know that everything on the earth is grounded, and it is because of the gravitational pull of the earth. We all know that, right? For example, children, if we are standing, okay, and if we jump, what happens? We come back, or we fall back to the same place. Or if we drop a feather, okay, it falls down due to the gravitational pull. If we drop a ball, it falls down on the earth because of the gravitational pull, right? Now children, we all have studied that our earth is covered with water, okay. So the main water bodies are ocean, seas, etc., right? So now when we talk about this gravitational pull, okay, we all know that water is fluid, and fluid moves more easily. So what happens is, when water on the earth in a particular region, if it is directly beneath the moon, like in this picture, then what happens? The water gets pulled by the gravitational force. So what happens is, the water on the earth is pulled by the moon because of its gravitational force, right? And it creates a bulge. If you see in this picture, if you look at this picture, you can see that the water below the moon has been like it can be seen like a bulge, right? So this bulge means that there is a tide on the surface of the ocean, okay. And the same bulge can also be seen on the exact opposite side, okay. Now why does this happen? It happens because this side of water is further away from the moon. Why it happens? Because it is further away from the moon, okay. I hope you have understood this concept. So children, there are two bulges on the opposite side of the earth. One is due to the moon's gravitational force, and other is due to the centrifugal force of the earth. Now I know you don't have this concept this year, so I will not be talking about it in detail, but just to explain in short, okay, what is centrifugal force? So you can imagine gravity as a force, okay. Imagine it as a rope which pulls everything to the center of the earth. The centrifugal force pulls to the opposite side, that is, it counterbalances the gravity. So one is the force which pulls the gravity from the other side, and other is the force which counterbalances it. So let us not go into detail about it, okay. You just need to remember that there are two tidal bulges on the opposite side, okay, and both the side of the earth where there are no bulges, okay, the portion on those side is called low tide. So, where there is a bulge we say high tide, where there is no bulge we say low tide. Now, what is this high tide and low tide? When the water is pulled, okay, due to the gravitational force, it creates waves, it creates big waves, okay. So, that is when we say it is high tide. And because the water is pulled, there are two sides. If you can check this, see this in the picture also, there are two sides, okay, where there are no bulges. There we can say that it is low tide, okay. So, children, this happens with the earth and the moon, okay. We all know that sun is bigger than the moon, and all the celestial bodies in the solar system, which means that the sun will exert more gravitational pull, okay. So, we all know that sun is bigger than all the moon and all the celestial bodies. So, obviously sun will exert more gravitational pull, this we have already discussed. So, basically when we say that sun will exert more gravitational pull, it influence on the tides as well. However, the sun's gravitational pull can do only two things. Either it will increase the gravitational pull of the moon, or it will diminish the gravitational pull of the moon. So, either it will increase the gravitational pull, or it will diminish or decrease the gravitational pull, right. So, when the earth, the moon and the sun are in a straight line, the sun is behind the moon, and therefore it enhances or it increases the moon's gravitational pull, and it creates much higher tides. Now, these are called spring tides, okay, these are called spring tides. But when the sun and the moon is at a right angle, okay, when the sun and the moon is at right angle, then the sun diminishes the gravitational pull of the moon on earth. It decreases the gravitational pull of moon on the earth, okay, and because of it low tides are created. So, such tides are called as neap tides. So, always remember, neap tides is what? Right angle, and spring tide is what? Straight line. Always remember this, because these pictures from your textbook are also very important. I will be just showing it to you within 2 minutes. It can come for your examination. So, it is important from your examination point of view, okay. So, this is how the tides are formed. So, children, this is the picture that I was talking to you, or I was telling you about, okay. See, this is the neap tide, right. Can you see the sun, the earth and the moon have made a right angle? So, always remember, when it is right angle, it is neap tide, okay. Now, look at this picture. This is the spring tide, where the sun, moon and the earth are in a straight line. So, children, you need to know this, so you can practice this at home, okay. So, children, the strong gravitational pull exerted by the sun and the moon on the earth's surface causes the tides. The water on the earth close to the moon gets pulled under the influence of the moon's gravitational force and it causes high tide. Now children, during the full moon and the new moon days, the sun, the moon and the earth are in a straight line, in the same line, and the tides are highest. These tides are called the spring tides. So I said, just as I said, if it is in a straight line, then it is spring tide, right? So when the moon is in its first and last quarter, the ocean water gets drawn in diagonally opposite directions by the gravitational pull of the sun and earth, resulting in low tides. So these are called neap tides. High tides help in navigation. They raise the water level close to the shores, and this helps the ships to arrive at the harbor easily. High tide also helps in fishing. Many more fish come closer to the shore during the high tide, and so this helps the fishermen to get plentiful of catch. The rise and fall of water due to tides is being used to generate electricity in some places. So children, before we proceed ahead, let us first understand and take a recap on the difference between tides and waves. When the water on the surface of the ocean rises and falls alternately, they are waves. But the rise and falls of level of ocean water is called tide. So please remember this very well. Okay. Now we move on to the next topic, that is ocean currents. What are ocean currents, children? Ocean currents are the streams of water flowing constantly on the ocean surface in definite direction. So the ocean currents may be warm or cold. Usually ocean currents originate near the equator and it moves towards the poles. The cold currents carry water from polar or higher latitudes to tropical or lower latitudes. The Labrador ocean current is cold current, while the Gulf Stream is warm current. Warm currents bring about warm temperature over the land surface. Okay, so these are some important things that you need to remember when you read ocean currents. Okay, so children, with this I end this chapter. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and keep learning.